Let's talk about Windrush, though, and what it means to you and to the country. Ali is in Croydon. Ali, what do you want to say about Trevor Phillips' comments? Good morning. I spoke with Trevor Phillips, who's broadcaster, author, and was chair of the Equality and Human Rights Commission. And I asked him his overall feeling of how the UK, and in particular the Home Office, had treated the Windrush generation during what was so-called that shambles of 2 years ago.
What I think was central to the culture at the Home Office was we've got loads of things to do. We don't need to prioritise this because, frankly, nobody cares very much what happens to a load of old black people. And so, you know, if there's trouble, we'll pick it up and we'll bury it somehow. So if I had to say what lies at the bottom of this, it was simply that they thought that these people did not matter. Now, you can call that what you like, but I prefer, frankly, to deal with, you know, rather than throwing names at people, simply to deal with what the human emotion is involved here. And I think that the culture of the Home Office simply thought that this group of people could be disregarded.
And then, speaking with Trevor Phillips, I sort of turned the coin around to the other side of the equation. What's it like to be black and living in the UK?
Without ignoring the behaviour of governments, the truth is that actually this country has been a pretty good country for people of colour. I have always said, and I will still maintain, in spite of the fact that, you know, everybody then gets on their high horse and starts complaining, this is the best country, certainly in Europe, for a black person to live in. Anybody who doesn't believe that only has to go and spend a week in France, or for God's sake, in Russia, or Germany, or even the Netherlands, to understand why you would come straight back home here. So.
Well, I think, you know, to be honest, hi, Nick, good morning. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm all right, thank you, sir. Yes, all good, thank you.
It's always a pleasure to speak with you. It's just that, you know, I did not listen to his comment, but basically, all I can say is, you know, I've been living in this country for 30 years, and I have been living in many other countries as well. Like, I was in the United States in 2007 for a year. I lived in Spain. Last 2 years I was there. But I haven't seen any country which welcomes so many different ethnic groups and with equality. And there is a 0%, I think, I can say, I have not faced any racism in this country. You know, I have been...
Did you say you've never experienced racism? Is that what you just said?
I have never.
Oh, wow.
To be honest,
that's great.
I have never experienced. Since 30 years, I have never experienced. I come from India, and you know the situation in India now, you know, between Hindus, Muslims,
Sadly,
and the minorities. You know, it's a big chaos going on up there.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is, people do mourn in this country, you know, taking examples of like George Floyd, what happened in the United States. I think that, you know, that was an individual case. The police is very brutal there. You know, it's a problem of the government that they should restrict the police.
Well, people say, not to that level, but people say that you can be the victim of police brutality as a person of colour in this country, of course.
But I haven't faced. You see, I mean, I've got all my white friends and black friends. When we drive around, if you speed up, everybody would get the same sort of penalties.
Yes.
Everybody have to go to the court the same way. You know, this country doesn't say that, oh, Ali, because you're Asian, we're going to charge you £1,000 because you're going 80 miles an hour, right? But because this fellow is white, you know, he is Nick Ferrari, we're going to charge him only £30. They're not doing that, right?
Well,
there is an equality. I mean, if you drive fast, Nick, I'm sure you'll have to pay as well the same amount, right?
Yeah, no, a long, long time ago when I was a young man. Absolutely right. Ali, good hearing from you, sir. Please excuse me moving on. It's to get others involved, which is what we're about in the morning. Thank you, Ali.